Hi, do you like deep fried fish but hate the mess? So you find yourself going out to order the fish and kind of wish that you could just be doing it at home easily? Yeah, me too. But I'm going to take care of that problem for you today. So I'm Ralph, welcome to my kitchen, and we're going to be doing deep fried catfish today in the oven. I've already started soaking my catfish fillets. I've got them soaking in water and a little bit of vinegar. Right now I'm going to be pulling those out, letting them drain a little bit. After they've had a chance to drain, I'm going to be patting them dry. And at that point, we're going to come back together and talk about the seasoning. So with that said, I will see y'all in just a moment. Right now I've taken the fish out from the strainer and had them sitting on the counter. I've been patting them dry. They don't have to be perfectly dry, but we don't want them soaking wet either. Now, next comes the batter. Starting out with cornmeal. I've got 1 1/4 cups of cornmeal here. Put that into our bowl. Now I've got a bunch of seasonings. Now the seasoning is made up of a tablespoon of flour, a tablespoon of cornstarch, a tablespoon of, it could be Old Bay or a similar type of flour seasoning, or fish seasoning. We want some salt and pepper, and we also have some lemon pepper in here. I'll have the directions down below and the proportions so you don't have to worry about remembering it now, just look it up later. I'm going to be putting all of those in to the cornmeal. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm just going to shake it up a little bit, make sure it all gets mixed up. Now we are not going to be doing that with the fish because fish is just way too delicate. But that's pretty good right there. Now bring this fish around. I've got a pan here that I'm going to be putting the fish into. Now I've got parchment paper on here. Do not confuse parchment paper with wax paper. They are not the same thing, and you do not want wax getting all over your food. Now, I'm going to start by just putting the fish fillets into the seasoning, getting them good and breaded up. Now, if you want to, and have an extra crunchy crust, you could use an egg mixture. Add a couple of eggs. I've heard some people adding a little bit of mustard. That seems a little strange to me, but I have seen that in a recipe. I've seen some people using mayonnaise instead of the eggs. And you would just, after you've breaded them, like we're doing right now, you would put them into that egg wash, or mayonnaise wash if you decide to go that route, and then back into our cornmeal mixture, bread them again. And that will get you a little bit extra crunchy batter on the fish. But personally, I think we're gonna be just fine with just this. I've got this here. I've got the oven preheated to 425 degrees. But just to find out how things might change if you go with a convection oven instead of a regular oven and baking it regular, we're going to be baking these 425 for 15 minutes. But 2 of these I am going to put on a raised rack and put them into the convection oven. You're going to want to use that raised rack because in a convection oven you're going to want that air circulating all the way around them. So we're going to see how that compares with just putting them into the oven. Now, when you're using a convection oven, big difference is you can go about 25 degrees lower, or you can set your timer about 25% shorter. So I'm going to start out with the ones in the oven first at 425. Since I really don't want to wait for the oven temperature to come down, I'm going to use the shorter time and just put these right into a 425 oven, convection oven, and do it for 11.5 minutes instead of 15. That said, let me put the first batch in. $425, 15 minutes, and we're started. See you in a moment. I am sorry, I forgot a very, very important step. If you're deep frying it, you need oil, but when you're deep frying it in the oven, you don't need very much. So I'm using just a little bit of avocado spray. Doing that on both sides. And back into the oven. Okay, improvising here. I thought as long as we're doing a test between regular oven and convection oven, why not go ahead and take one of those convection oven fish and double batter it, just so we can see how that works. So I've got my egg mixture here, getting it all soaked in that. Back into the batter. There we go. Now we've got that one. That'll be the one more toward the middle, so we can tell what's what. And as soon as we're done with pulling the others out, this is going to be going in for another 11.5 minutes. So I'll be right back as soon as the first batch is done. Okay, I pulled them out of the oven, and here are the results. These three came out of the just regular bake, one coating. This was a convection oven. This was one coating. This is two coatings. See if we can hear this. There's a little crisp, but it still could be a little more crisp. It could probably stand to stay in the oven a little bit longer. Now, when I think I said that it stays in for 15 minutes. I'm sorry, 15 minutes, flip them, put them in for another 15 minutes. Although, based on the results I have here, second time in, you might leave them in for more like 20. However, the convection oven, these came out really well. So given a choice between a regular oven and convection oven for doing this fish, I would choose the convection oven. Here is the single breading. Here's the double breading. Very crispy. Let me taste one of these from the first regular baking process first. It's not as crispy and crunchy as I was kind of hoping that it would be, but it's still a very good fish. Convection oven. Single coat. Go from the bigger end here. See, single coat, more crunchy when you're doing it in the convection oven. And the double coat, let's try that. That is very good. I would say go convection oven, 15 minutes per side. Whether you go single layer of breading or double layer of breading, doesn't matter. They're both excellent. Serving suggestions. You can make one into a little bit of a po' boy here. Got some cheese, got some tartar sauce, a little bit of lettuce. And all in all, I think we'd have a really good sandwich there. Or just go with a fillet. Here's what we've got. Two good choices. Can't go wrong either way. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like, consider subscription, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.